All right. This is another one of these good old wrap ups, reviews, whatever. This one being +2 on block. The September one. September 7th, 2019. Drove up there on my lonesome, which has been the norm lately. Went and did a boatload of commentary. A boatload of commentary. Actually didn't play anything, which was kind of surprising. I meant to sit down and play some Soul Calibur, but didn't happen because every time I looked up, nobody was over there. But something on the side. So let's talk about some things that happened, and I have a little show and tell with some pictures afterward. Nothing too serious. All of these should be Magnegro approved. I didn't look too hard, but I don't think there was anything questionable at all. We'll find out the hard way when I redo this again. So, anyways, let's just go down the row of events over here. We got Rev 2. I didn't pay too much attention to Rev 2. Actually, I didn't pay any attention to Rev 2. I'm not going to lie. But I will say that while I was talking to, I believe it was Painbot, during Grand Finals, I looked up because I heard everybody that was in the area yelling. And then I saw the backside of good old soul bad guy. And I'm under the impression that the tank was over there being a fraud and just noobing out of situations that he probably shouldn't have. So he won. That's the best I got. All right. Under Night. I didn't watch Under Night. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. I actually like zoned out and watched a bit of Grand Finals, but it looked like Under Night to me, and I'm saying that as flatly and unbiasedly as possible. Just Under Night generally has this flow of somebody gets hit, they get put into the corner, and then it's a question of do they ever flip the scenario or if something dissolves and somehow winds up back at mid screen, which it's usually somebody just dies in the first corner that everybody goes to. So there was a decent amount of that. Uh, Dragon Ball, I didn't realize Scraw won both of them. Dragon Ball is kind of funny. I need this picture, actually. Where is this? I said I was going to save this for the end this time, but this was too good. This is the best one I have right here. All right. So this is. Oh, you can't even see the whole thing. And this is a better angle of it, but this gives you more of what I'm looking at. So this is a shot of winners finals, right? And it was kind of amusing because there was a little discrepancy about what was going to be streamed at the time. And the Mortal Kombat players were thinking that MK11 was going to be up there because they didn't know how many people were there for Dragon Ball, but there was enough for Dragon Ball that it got some time, right? So Poke Chop, being one of the MK11 players that was in winners finals for MK11, he had to watch Dragon Ball. So he watched Dragon Ball, and I think he was entertained. That's the PC way for me to say this. He was entertained. The results of this don't surprise me because, like I went over last week for GB, this fits under standard protocol. Scrot was there. There is no Jazz, so I'm assuming Scrot won. Everybody else, I don't really know them, so I'm pretty sure I know Tennessee Luna, but I don't. Yeah, so that didn't surprise me. Marvel. This was actually really good. Even with these 5 people here, This was actually really good. It was a round robin, and a decent amount of it was streamed. And this is the first thing on the list that I did commentary for. But yo, Marco, his general reaction is playing on fire with his good old Hager team, his big boys team. I think it's referred to as like the Cane Blue River or something, but it was the general reaction. He was lighting people up the entire day. And it also surprised me to see that Terrence played, and he's pretty competent at the game. He has tactfulness. But no, the big highlight of Marvel, it was one of the better highlights of the entire tournament, in my opinion, was just general reaction. Still has that Marvel crispness. Excuse me, I had to take a quick sip of the Zona. Street Fighter 5. Should I skip this and come back to this? Because this is like my number 2. Let me come back to that. Let me come back to Street Fighter. Alright. BB Tag. This did have a bracket. You see Fame was here. So Fame, standard issue, Fame's going to win. Scrawk getting second is really interesting. Now, last week at GB, Scrawk was in last. I could check this real quick. The On Blast show featuring Dogy. Yeah, Scrawk got last week. But Scrawk has been trying to like patch in some holes before he goes to CEO Taku. So apparently he asked Fame. We actually talked. Fame and I talked about this on stream because lo and behold, we got Fame to sit down and do some commentary. Scrawk asked Fame for an easy team that he could pick up for CEO Taku, and Fame told him to play Yang Carmine. Said it's a really simple, really effective, powerful team. Gets to press fourth in neutral, gets to ignore neutral a lot of times, and a boatload of damage. I am saying that how I like to phrase things and not how they are commonly phrased in the fighting game community. That team is simple and effective. All right? So, yeah, Scrawk played Gang Carmine the entire time, and he did pretty well. He did pretty well. Got himself a very convincing second place. Like, even with the team, it wasn't good enough to beat Fame, but he put up more of a contention than he has lately. So, that was really interesting to see. MK11. Here's a little story to this. So, Pokechop won. It's not a big surprise. This guy right here, Big Man, is apparently the undercover lab monster of, I want to say East Point. I don't know if I can say the Tekken House. I guess I put him in Pokechop's crew specifically, like the Pokechop division of the Tekken House. Because Pokechop said that this guy, Big Man, first tournament he's been to, for MK11 at least, this is the guy that gives like all of the Tekken players in Atlanta their tech. Big Man's apparently the guy that gave Pokechop all the Negan stuff. I can't remember if he said Aaron Black. I could be wrong, but he specifically said that Big Man was the one that really paved the way for him to play Negan. And so he's an undercover boss. And, well, the second place clearly showed it. But yeah, beyond that, it was none of the real big names were there. The Prime Time, which was again like the buzz name recently for Mortal Kombat. Trey Pound wasn't there, so It was MK. Soul Calibur, I wanted to play. I didn't even realize this happened. I didn't notice there was 7 people for it. I did see Sword Lord was there. He lost to Fame. All right. I didn't know Cam got 3rd. Okay. Tekken. Excuse me, I was taking sips again. Tekken. All right, this one's kind of funny. So, the first thing I have to start with is that originally there were not enough people for World Tour points. But Bates, being Mr. Moneybags that he is, he was Mr. Moneybags yesterday. Let me not fluff this. He begged a boatload of people to enter Tekken. Enough to actually get World Tour status, which is 12, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he even got the likes of this guy to play some Tekken, because he's been around for a bit. So yeah, there was this guy. Now here's where it gets even funnier. So I was just telling you about Big Man and how he is the battery that enabled Poke Chop. This wasn't actually Big Man. This was the old switcheroo. This is Mike ATL. So yeah, Big Man entered Tekken. He got placed in the bracket, and then he put his hand up and reached over to the rope, and he tagged in the ATL King player, and King hopped over the rope, and he waltzed right up to second place. Now, this was a pretty good set between the two in winners and grands, but it is important to point out, or it is interesting to point out, that I'll say, that Chop played Law for a good part of it. I think it was just the first set of grands, but he played some of the old martial law. I almost said Forest Law, because Forest is a cool one. He played some old martial law. 96 was holding it down in the 3rd place. Surprised to see Painbot in 4th. It is only surprising because this has to be another scenario of he only played Tekken because he was asked, not because he wanted to, and he still has like a really high rank. Yeah, that was Tekken. All right, so backing up, Street Fighter V. This was really good. This top 3, and that's all that was streamed. This was really good. And it was really good because of this guy right here, Jesus. If you watch a decent amount of Street Fighter in the state, well, if you watch Street Fighter in the state, you've seen Jesus. Like, you have to. He's one of the top players. I'd say he's like 4, 3, 4, or 5, somewhere around that range. Like, I'd say 4, but it's erring on the side of 3. I'd have to do like number crunching. But anyways, really good player. But he's a guy that plays, you can tell he plays emotionally very often. But when he's actually calm, calculated, and collected, it's pretty amazing what works in his favor. And even though he got 3rd place, and he took this loss against Terrence in winners finals, that was a really good set for him. I'm not going to sit here and say it was like an amazing set of Street Fighter V. I'm not going to say it was like a really clean set. It wasn't all that. But for the progression of Jesus in Street Fighter V, that was a really good set. Sad that it didn't pan out in his favor, and then watching everything crumble as he had to stand in front of an Akuma afterwards. But that was a really interesting tale from from +2 yesterday. That's gonna be worth me going back and watching. Like I already planned on watching it again, like sometime today, but I'm just like verbally putting it out there. It was really good to watch. Uh, Grands was good as well. Terrence versus Joel, but I've seen a decent amount of that, even with Joel's playing Akuma now. I've seen a decent amount of him versus Terrence. So there were some things that they just added up to the result that I expected. And it didn't really help that Joel didn't have the confidence in it as well. Like before we even started, he walked over to Shadow Ace and I. We were doing commentary, and he said he was about to lose. And it's not like it was gonna be close. He was like, he's about to lose, and we're like, dang. But it was still a pretty competent fight. It was competitive. And so that leaves me with I say this is the best storyline in the state right now. Like fighting game wise, I honestly think that bar none, this is the best storyline in the state. The story of Painbot and Bates in Sam's show. So let me give you the rundown of this entire tournament. 3 weeks ago, a month ago, I think, when they first announced the return of +2, Data announced that there was a $100 pop bonus for Samurai Showdown. Okay? What was not set up front, I did point this out in one of my episodes of What's Good With You. Check that out. A little bit of shield, blah, blah, blah. What was happening behind the scenes was that Data put up $50 and Bates himself put up $50. He put it up for two reasons. One, if you know Bates, this one is very obvious and very understanding, where he likes the game and he wants people to play good games. So he's willing to put money into a pot to incentivize people to play good games, right? The other part of that, and you've blatantly said this multiple times, is that he had no problems putting his own money, his extra money in the pot, because he was sure he was going to make it back. He was sure that the only person that could possibly stand in his way was Painbot. All right? There's more to this drama, though. Because come time to do the tournament, there was only 5 people, right? Excuse me. There was only 5 people. So there was actually a discussion about even having a pop bonus or having part of it because there wasn't enough for a full bracket. And at that point, Bates was like, we said we are going to have a $100 pop bonus. I will do what it takes to have a $100 pop bonus. And he went and he personally sponsored 7 more people. I don't know if he did all 7, but he got 7 more people to enter the tournament. And I know for a fact that if he did not pay for all of them, he paid for some of them. He got enough people, 12 people, for a tournament, right? And it was a good one. Again, it was another one where only top 3 was streamed, winners, losers, grands. But they were so good. Winners finals being Painbot and Bates. That's, for the most part, the only way it's going to happen. Like, you might have flashes of some other people here and there. Your Nexonitis last week. Milo, the last GB, I want to say. And I honestly can't speak of 404 because, well, that doesn't come out to the light yet. We need that to happen. But anyway, for like what gets seen in the public eye, Sam's show in Georgia, it's Painbot and Bates. And it was one where Painbot got the better of Bates. And then the losers finals. This was a showing of the coming of age in the patch, where Scrot came through with his Rimaru. Now, I'm not going to give the details of how it went down, but I will say that claims were made again, and words were backed up, where we wound up with a really good, a really competitive grand finals. And I say it was really competitive, even though it was only one set. But that was, I'd have to argue that was the best set of the day. I have to argue it because there's some really strong contenders. Again, I can't really talk about Tekken. I didn't watch Tekken. I will say that General Reaction's performance in Marvel was top notch. It's top notch. But yeah, one of the better highlights, like easily top 3 sets, was Sam Grands, and it's adding up, or it has added up to the best storyline in my mind right now. Like, yeah, I can't really think of anything else except for possibly Mortal Kombat when all of the pieces line up, but I don't know enough about that. But anyways, +2 was pretty good. Let's go through some pictures. I'll figure out like a format for all of this one day. But today's not that day. So some pictures. So this is the outside of +2 of Axis Replay, which is on Krog Street in Midtown Atlanta, I think it is. It's not literally downtown. I think it's called Midtown. I don't know. That place is a nightmare to get to. It's a nightmare to get to. It's a nightmare to park at. Apparently, I'm going to have to find a new place to park next time, or actually pay to valet, because we used to be able to get there early and chill, but there is some kind of cafe right here, and they own this lot, and they're cracking down on people. Anyways, so this goes into the building to Axis Replay, and this is inside the building in like the front hall, and here we are in Axis Replay. Got General Reaction and Poke Chop playing some, pretty sure they're playing Marvel. Yeah, that's the only thing they play together. That's the only thing General Reaction plays. Vimpt and Erico playing Guarantee, that's Under Night. There's some other people I see, but we'll catch them on other pictures. Oh, there's Bates about to drop a laptop. And yeah, when I walked in, I saw this, and it surprised me, or like a couple minutes after I walked in, it surprised me to see Terrence actually sitting down and playing Marvel. In my mind at that point, I'm like, why is he like even worried about Marvel at this point? But yeah, he entered Marvel, and he did pretty well. He honestly did a lot better than I would have expected him to. What else we got? Painbot sitting down to play. I think there's Guilty Gear on this setup. And then Kara running her brackets, running her tournament. And here is the tank. What else? Oh, this is a pretty good pan, except for the part where I like sped up too much, I guess, and got jacked up a kill over here. My bad, man. But yeah, I was standing on the stage because they asked me to kind of be the mannequin for the cameras. So I just turned around and took a nice pan of the area. I say a nice pan, the scale is kind of jacked up. I guess I should start doing like sliding pans instead of like turning. Got Kari and Ray MK. Fuck you, Corey. Playing Guilty Gear. Hime Cut. That's Holla Holla Get Dollar. Or Holla Holla Get More Dollar, excuse me. It's Cam in the back chilling. What else we got? This is Street Fighter. Jesus playing Pork Chop. Kraken playing Cam Too Cool. Joel and Shin Phoenix. And who in the world is this guy? Dre Gamestead, aka Black White Boy. Oh, and this picture's good. Give me a sec. So, Dre Gamestead, Dragon Ball Joseph, DBJ, sitting in front of what you would maybe think is a Street Fighter 5 setup. Nah, these clowns were playing Street Fighter 4. And let me tell you, this dude right here can't hit no Sakura combos, man. He ain't got the links no more. They're pretty soggy. Pretty soggy. He's got Painbot, Breakman, Big Man, Terrence. And Shinku R sliding in, laughing at the good old times when he played Rose and backdashed a lot. Just like every other Rose player, as everybody was accused by the internet. I don't remember who this is, especially not from the back. Ooh, a shot of... I originally took this just to get a row of the Tekken players, but this is also another really good shot of the Mortal Kombat crew waiting for Dragon Ball. But this is another one of Holla Holla Get More Dollars, Mr. 96, Pleasant Man, Ray MK, it's Mike ATL, and Shinku R. Took another shot of that. It's the one I had earlier. It's a small pan shot. More of the same stuff. And this is after Pork Chop been screaming for a couple minutes. He tells Mr. 96 to come over and look at this. Look at this. Yo, look at the damn. Yo, Piccolo. The man got Piccolo looking like the truth. Scrot was over here one-shotting characters. Complete disbelief at the damage. Man, this is Fame and Terrence. I think I just took this picture because it was more Dragon Ball. Kraken, and I don't know who this guy is. Therefore, I don't know what they're playing. I don't remember what was... I think Under Night was on this setup, but I don't think I've ever heard of Kraken playing Under Night, so I don't know what they're doing. And this was... This is Dragon Ball. Yeah, Shadow Ace and Hime Cut commentating Dragon Ball, if I remember correctly. Oh, this talk. Oh, this talk was so good. There was like 2 of these talks. This was the council meeting to try to figure out what to do with Sam Show, right? And Bates was so adamant about having the pop bonus because it was advertised. And he was so sure that he could get enough people to justify having the pop bonus. But Kara down here, the only thing she wanted to know is if Bates was going to beat Painbot today. I wish I would have actually like paparazzi the video. It was so good. Like, she burnt his cornbread so many times. Why did I turn the camera for this? I don't know. This is Fame and Terrence playing some Sam Show. Shot a Big Man. I think I was just taking random pictures. Painbot, Kari. I don't know who this guy is, but I saw him around a good bit yesterday. More conversation. Oh, man. Good old Hime Cut keeping it real. Here's a little picture of the Lord, Sword Lord, and Dr. Eek, and Riox, Kent. I got a better picture of him, because these two and Hime Cut were over here playing King of Explosions, as I like to call it. King of Explosions! where we're no longer held down by the melty, held down by the Street Fighter. That's old Georgia memes. King of Fighters 13. They played that for a good bit yesterday. Kraken and Ambient 19. I was trying to remember the numbers because it's not 96. Ambient 19 playing some Street Fighter. Yeah, they're playing Street Fighter. They ain't playing no Sam Show. And this is a picture that says a lot of 1,000 words right here. Like, I'm not going to go into details about this, but Poke Chop was in Big Man's corner for Mortal Kombat. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Some more Sam Show. It's surprising to see how many people actually wound up trying Sam Show, and who specifically was trying Sam Show. Cause I know Jesus plays it, but Shadow Ace was one of the people that Bates was able to talk into it. And what was really funny is, and I pointed this out to Shadow Ace. Shadow Ace was playing Rimaruru. If you know Shadow Ace, that is his character, right? That is the Shadow Ace character of the game. But apparently nobody told him to pick her. He just did it. I don't even know if he really sat down and looked at characters, or he just looked at aesthetics and was like, I'll try this. But it was just really funny how that panned out. This is the truth. The Truth 404. Because he's one of the people I haven't pointed out yet. What is this? This is when... So this is after... It was The Truth and Shadow Ace. So Sam Show was streamed twice. They streamed the beginning of Sam Show, then they cut to the Tekken Top 3, and then they went back to Sam Show Top 3. But in the beginning of Sam Show, they had Shadow Ace and The Truth play on stream. And The Truth beat Shadow Ace, alright? And because of that, Mr. 96 and Poke Chop were asking Bates and Painbot why anybody would want to play Sam Show. It has to be a trash game with no fundamentals if The Truth can beat Shadow Ace. I'm going to leave that topic right there and just keep on scrolling. Somewhere later in the night where I just stood on the stage and took another shot. And these are the last two I have of Kari and Rashid Chinku R doing some commentary for Tekken Top 3. And it's kind of funny, just like I pointed out last week. You know, I was asked to do some Tekken commentary, and I'm looking around. I'm like, man, there are two people who are literal Tekken commentators here. There are two more people who are perfectly good at Tekken commentary, and they do it all the time. And you mean to tell me none of them want to do it? So I sat there and I held the headset for like a good 5 minutes before one of them finally walked over and completed the team. Yeah, that was my +2 experience yesterday. It's pretty good. I'm about to wrap this up and go watch some VODs, actually. See you next time.